There's no secret, Messi cried his heart out when leaving Barca. But thanks to a legendary welcome in Paris, La Pulga was quick to get back in high spirits. Or was he? Did you know that Leo cried even harder on his very first day at PSG? Here's the heartbreaking reason why. Leo Messi finally feels right at home in Paris. With 8 goals and 8 assists in only 13 appearances, including the worldie against Benfica in the Champions League, La Pulga feels much like his old self. But to say that the Argentinian needed an adaptation period to his new life in Paris is an understatement. Messi's move to the French capital was much more than a transfer. It was a totally life-changing experience, not only for Leo, but for the whole Messi family. As for Leo, he was leaving the country, city, and club that made him the man he is today after 20-odd years. Even if you're the GOAT, that's a hard pill to swallow. And though he was all smiles during the legendary welcome he received in the Parc des Princes, worthy of a king, on the inside, he was still crying. Did his old-time pal Ney break his heart? Or was it Mauricio Pochettino's tactics that had him weeping? The truth is not only much more serious, but it also shows the very human side of the Argentinian. The reason why both Leo and Antonella were caught in a fit of crying was because of their children. This had nothing to do with Leo, the superstar football player. It was simply Leo Messi, the father, who wants nothing but the best for his kids. I remember leaving them at school and crying, suffering for them. The truth is that we took the lead for nothing. In Barcelona, we had made our life. It's not easy to arrive in a new place with a different language. We thought they were going to have a bad time, and none of that. You have to feel for La Pulga, and we really do. We wouldn't know about all their children, but how in the world would he think Mateo would struggle to make friends and adapt? The little bastard, as his father would call him, is the definition of a crowd pleaser. Although his kids had a blast adapting to Parisian life right from the get-go, Leo Messi had to take his time. And as is the case with the very best in their field, La Pulga is the harshest critic of himself. So explaining what went wrong with his challenging campaign is easy for him. I used to play my whole life in one way, and get to a place where it's not the same, where you play differently, where you see football differently with new teammates. You're right, Leo, but let's not forget that even some PSG fans questioned you after your rough start. Luckily, his recent performances prove that no one in his right mind should give credit to people who question Messi's talent or desire for the beautiful game. You know the old saying, form is temporary, class is permanent. Right, friends? All the football talk aside, this whole story is like a testament to the often neglected side of Leo Messi. He sure runs rampant and terrorizes anyone against him whenever he's got the ball at his feet. But when he's outside of the pitch, he's just a down-to-earth family man who is happy being surrounded by his loved ones. I have few friends, real friends. I always took refuge in my family a lot. I feel happy being with them. I don't need much more. Being Messi takes some things out of you, and sometimes I'm also unsuccessful for that. When you're this close to your core family and friends, no wonder it hits differently leaving most of that behind. Already one of, if not the biggest name in the history of the game, La Pulga will look to capitalize on his perfect form to win one trophy that's been eluding him his whole career. And if he ever does, he'll surely cry tears of joy that time around. With that being said, we'll be wrapping this episode up. Did you know the reason why Messi cried on his first day at PSG? Be sure to let us know.